Welcome to this special preview of the Joy Reid Show. I recently sat down with Democratic Mayor of Newark, New Jersey, and candidate for Governor Ras Baraka about his recent arrest in a case that's since been dropped regarding his attempt to perform oversight over a private prison in his city of Newark, New Jersey. I also talked to him about major issues like what he would want to do as governor and also the rule of law as interpreted by the Trump administration. Take a look.
I didn't know that this morning when I woke up that I'll be in this detention facility here, that I would end up incarcerated for something that I believe is my democratic right to show up and speak out against what I think was happening there, a violation of city and state laws, and a lack of transparency.
Mayor Baraka, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you for having me.
I want to start by talking about where we are right now. You were just speaking at the State of the People Power Tour rally. Why did you feel it was important to be here, given all that you have going on?
Well, one, it's in Newark, and I needed to be here and represent the city, but also because I think that it's important, especially now in this period, to have what's going on, to have a kind of organizing mechanism that's going around the country, trying to rally folks in our community up so they can see what's happening and be a part of this moment.
Let's talk about what's happening. Delaney Hall, it used to be a treatment facility. It was a place that was trying to help people.
Drug treatment and for people coming home from incarceration.
Okay.
So it was a halfway house as well.
And so do you know the condition of the people that are being held there? We're assuming these are undocumented migrants, or do we even know?
Well, that's what they say. Only thing we know is what they tell us. They're not transparent at all. They're not giving us any information at all. And that's part of the problem. Even with the certificate of occupancy, you have to declare, what's happening in here, who's in here, who's going to be in here, if it's children, if it's women, if it's families, if it's men. You have to say all of that, right?
You don't have the names of the people who are there? You don't know?
We have no idea who's in that property.
So let's talk about this, because there have been stories claiming that you were outside of that facility protesting, that you've been protesting outside the facility. Is that true?
I never went there to protest. Every time I go there, I go every morning at 7 o'clock in the morning. I usually leave around 7:30, 7:45, because I know they're going to deny us entry. The objective here is to get them to deny us entry so we can, kind of certify that, put it on the gate. So every time we go to court, we have a pattern of them denying entry to our folks. And we need people to witness that. And plus, our people don't want to go down there alone because they're afraid, right? And so I feel like if we're going to send them there, we need to go with them. I told the business administrator, we need to be with them. And I have to tell them, look, if they don't let you in, don't go. I don't want you to do anything to put your license in jeopardy. I don't want you to go to jail. If anybody gets in trouble, it'll be me. You're down here at the behest of the city. There are protesters down there. They've been down there every day. And they got a right to do that. I mean, one day they asked me to speak. I got up and spoke to them. And I have a right to do that. But every day I go there for that and I leave. There's not one day that I went down there to protest. The day that I got arrested, I went down there to support the Congress people. They invited me to a press event that they were having after they were supposed to do the tour. That never happened. But it was ICE officials and soldiers and police officers with masks. They were all out there. Nobody said anything to me. Nobody talked to me. Nobody asked me anything. They didn't say, leave, get out, beat it. They stood there. I stood there, and the guy who let me in stood there until an hour and a half later when the guy from Homeland Security came, special agent in charge. Then we got in. He got into it with me. Then the Congress people came, and he started the attention off of me and started talking to them, yelling and screaming. Then, he started threatening us, and the Congress people, said, let's go, we're leaving. I said, I'm leaving. He told me to get out. I left.
Don't touch him. This is not
You can see, if you see the video, I walk out. I leave. He said, get out. I leave.
No, please. Clear the gate. Back up.
I'm on the other side of the fence. Then one of the Congressman Mendez runs to the gate, says, hey, they coming to lock you up. And you can hear me say, why? I'm on the other side of the fence. They can't lock me up. So if this was like planned, I would have said, great, let me go and get locked. I said, why? They can't arrest me. They can't. I'm not on their property anymore. What are you talking about? And I stood there. And then you see him coming, right? The Newark in me, I would have took off and gave chase. But at the end of the day, I just stood there because I couldn't believe it, honestly. I wanted to see what they really was going to do. And they did it. They went all the way.
And you're the only person who was arrested.
The only one.
It's on the code. It's on the code. Call the code. Calm down. Calm down. I'm not resisting. I know.
Keep all of your goddamn hands off of me.
You're here.
Hell wrong with you? You ever put your hands on me?
What do you think that signals to the country? That, I think that people have started to almost in some ways, I hope not become numb to seeing immigrants grabbed off the streets by men who did not have badges or uniforms, being thrown into vans and taken away. This is starting to happen on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And people are now seeing that continually with people who they know are immigrants. This is now an American mayor of the largest city in New Jersey, the son of a very famous poet, Mayor Baraka, is your dad, a well-known figure, and 3 members of Congress, all Americans. What does that signal to you?
Well, authoritarianism. They're trying to intimidate people, bully you, and they're claiming that other people are grandstanding. This is the ultimate grandstanding, what they're doing. They're trying to signal to the rest of the country that they're strong, they're powerful, they're in charge, and nobody can defy them. Signal their base that they're taking care of these Democrats and they're going to lock them up if they, do anything that they think is wrong or against their agenda, that they're going to do that. They don't care who they are. Just put the fear in people, and hopefully people become paralyzed by this fear.
Ma'am, stop. 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 Stop right there. On your arms. Your arms. I got her arms. Stop.
And what do you expect to happen?
Well, I mean, at this point, I don't really know. I know we have to go to court, and right now they're going to play it out. They're probably trying to use it as leverage to get or do whatever they want to, whatever their objective is in the end. If it's to keep me quiet or whatever it is, they're going to try to use that. They're wrong. We're right, right? And Paul Robeson said the power in our demands is that what we ask for is correct. So at the end of the day, like, we didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do anything wrong, and I'm not going to acquiesce and make these people believe I did something wrong.
You're running for governor. You're in the Democratic primary. The primary is June 10th. The last I checked, you're running 3rd in the polls. Mikey Sherrill is also running. The mayor of Jersey City is also in the race. Do you think that what happened to you will change people's conceptions in terms of what kind of a governor this state needs?
I think people in the state of New Jersey, especially Democrats and a few independents, wanted that anyway. I mean, you can see people's commercials changing. When I first started running, I was automatically talking about from the beginning that we need to push back against what's happening in this country. Then Trump just got worse and worse and worse. And so that elevated what I was saying. And so now everybody else is talking about how they're going to push back against Donald Trump. So it changed the talking point, became a wedge issue about what he's doing, taking people's Medicaid, closing veterans' offices. All of this stuff scared the bejesus out of people. We're going to shut down the Department of Education. People are afraid, on both sides of the aisle, by the way. And so this changed, and people began talking about that more and more and more. And honestly, I think people want leadership now more than ever. And people are pretending to be progressive.
We are facing the most corrupt president this nation has ever had. He's attacking people. He's attacking Medicaid. He's attacking the Department of Education. And what's worse than all of this is that he seems to be doing a lot of this where cruelty is the point. This is not a federal government you can work with.
We're not fighting hard enough to get these dollars back. And whatever dollars are there, we should get more of them to New Jersey for our taxpayers to help our families.
I'm trying to figure out why they have to wait to become the governor to get more money back from the government, because that's their job as congresspeople.
If you were the governor, if you became governor, what will be the difference in the way that you would deal with the administration and, the way maybe your opponents would?
I mean, in terms of immigration, we need to stand in front of it and pass the Immigrant Trust Act here in New Jersey that codifies our police departments not working with ICE to do the things that they're doing, making sure immigrants had access to resources in the state of New Jersey, giving them access to lawyers, funding community-based organizations so that they can be represented, especially if people with green cards and student visas are being attacked because of what they believe and think, and professors. And we need to unite with other states. I think that because people are doing their individual thing, Democrats are doing that, you see a lot of people are beginning to waffle, right? So I think that if Gavin Newsom and Westmore and Pritchett and all these other people got together, Pritzker, excuse me, and all these other people, Maine, and all these other people got together and formed a kind of united front, right? Putting our AGs together to push back, not just individual cases, but collective ones, sharing resources to push back against Donald Trump, that we had a collective agenda and not an individual one, I think we would be further along. Because people feel like they're out here on their own, you start to see Gretchen Whitmer, you start to see Gavin Newsom a little bit peeling back, trying to talk about how you're going to work with Trump. Even in the debate last night, they say to me, so how can people trust that you won't interfere with federal officers? And, as the governor, would this be the right way to behave? And I'd say, at first, I didn't interfere with federal officers. That's number one. But number two, yes, I think it is the right way to behave. We're in a moral moment right now in this country. And history is going to judge people's behavior and their actions and their words during this time, just like we judge everybody during Jim Crow era, or we judged everybody during slavery, or we judged everybody during the Holocaust. America was being judged when people were marching and having rallies in New York City during the rise of Hitler. Like, people judge that. They're going to judge what you're saying. Your silence is going to be judged in this moment, because this is a chaotic moment, not just for the country, but for the world, right? And so I think now you need to raise your voice more than ever.
Thank you for watching this special preview of The Joy Reid Show. Be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel and stay tuned for the official debut of the show coming up in early June. Subscribe and share. Thank y'all very much.
Hey, that's your free speech and blah, blah, blah. Because originally, when I lost the White House correspondence gig,
Talk a little bit about how did they tell you? Did you get an email? What happened? How did you find
my
out you were
reps
no longer doing it?
Were like, you acted wild on a podcast, and you lost White House correspondence. And I was like, yeah, man.
Well, what did you say on the podcast?
Act wild.